All right, Miles, let's talk about the New Orleans Saints here for a little bit. This is a team, Miles, my personal opinion, I've said this for about a year and a half now. This is a talented roster with a lot of quality players at quality positions. They just need to fill out a couple issues, a couple key pressure points on this roster. Then I could think they could take the next step to being a true contender once again. And we've got some news that the Saints could be potentially doing just that very soon.
Yeah, Nick, that's exactly right. Just a few upgrades and the Saints are there, and they had been there for many, many years in the past. But just recently, there's been a couple things holding them back, and that's why we want to ask the Saints fans in the comments below. Let us know, what do you think that the Saints should address? What positions through the draft or free agency do you think would be the biggest upgrades to this Saints roster? Let us know in the comments below. But Nick, what is the move the Saints are kind of eyeing right now?
Yeah, Miles, you've heard me say this till I'm blue in the face. Quarterback play matters. And no one knows that more than Saints fans. Obviously, had a long time with Drew Brees, one of the all-time greats, got him a Super Bowl victory. But the last few years, there's been a lot of issues at the quarterback position, both with performance on the field and availability through injuries. And it looks like there are some rumors that the Saints are gearing to make a massive acquisition at the quarterback department. This is according to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. Fowler wrote on Friday that NFL scouts and executives at the Senior Bowl in Alabama were, quote, buzzing about the New Orleans Saints as a potential landing spot for Carr. Fowler also noted that some interested teams are hoping Carr will be willing to rework his contract. Now, obviously, that is a must for the Saints that Carr would be willing to rework it. I think he would be. The Saints need that because of their salary cap structure, and I think Derek Carr would be more than up to that. Obviously, I think his contract is sort of an albatross on his neck to get him traded. And Miles, I think this acquisition, this potential rumor here for the New Orleans Saints, is a massively good call for New Orleans if they were to go after Derek Carr, because I think Carr, to me, is a significant upgrade over Jameis Winston, even if they stick with him. It's a significant upgrade over what they've had the last few years. Obviously, Taysom Hill, Andy Dalton filled in and was nice, but he was just a backup, kind of a short-term fix. I think getting a proven veteran who's looking to kind of, reshape the narrative around him is something the Saints are very familiar with, right? They got this with Drew Brees, going back to 2005. Not saying Carr is Drew Brees level, but Drew Brees wasn't Drew Brees before he came to New Orleans. So I think there's some potential reasoning behind this, some mojo brewing here behind this move, Mize. Give me your thoughts on this from the New Orleans Saints. What do you think? You think they should go after Carr? You think there's some merit to this?
Yeah, no, I think it's really interesting. As you said, they're buzzing at the Pro Bowl or at the Senior Bowl rather, and that could have been for some things that happened at the Pro Bowl. Derek Carr is at the Pro Bowl. Obviously, people saw him light it up in the skills challenge. Not really, a shining achievement for quarterback play, something fun, but there was something else going on at the Pro Bowl, Nick, and that is the New Orleans Saints are the Las Vegas Raiders have given Derek Carr permission to speak with teams who have agreed to their compensation package as far as a trade would go. And this is interesting because time is creeping up on us here, Nick. There's about 10 days or so left for the Raiders to either trade or cut Carr before that contract becomes an issue. So I think things are starting to move very quickly. Carr said that while he was at the game, or Pro Bowl, him and his representative have been waiting to be authorized to speak with potential trade partners. So he is there. He's kind of wheeling and dealing at the Pro Bowl. As you said, the news got all the way to the Senior Bowl. People are talking about it, and the Saints seem like a really good landing spot. I think Derek Carr would be happy there, and I think the Saints would be happy to get a guy like Derek Carr.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting, right? Because the Saints did pick up another first-round draft pick, I think number 29 overall in the trade. I think it was Miami Dolphins draft pick, or there was a trade when they obviously sent Sean Payton to Denver Broncos. I don't know where the draft pick originated from. I think it was a product of a number of other trades. But again, it's a late first-round draft pick, so not an insane amount of value there. But I think the Raiders would take that for Carr, or they may take a package, maybe a couple number threes or something like that as well. So I think the Saints have just enough draft capital, mainly through the Sean Payton trade, to potentially get Derek Carr. They could also wait to see if Carr gets released and then sign him that way. Either way, Miles, I agree. I think the move makes a lot of sense. I think it's the best option for both teams. It's an upgrade for the Saints. It's a fresh start for Derek Carr. With the talented roster, I mean, you look at Olave is a great player. I think Johnson's an underrated tight end. Kamara is still a beast. Penning's a great offensive lineman. Ruiz, when healthy, is a great center. Obviously, Ramchik's a stud. So I think they've got guys on offense. So I think Derek Carr could come in and be productive in the offense. I think it's just one of those moves. It makes too much sense for both sides. So we're going to have to definitely keep an eye on this because it seems to be heading in this direction.